Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hi, I'm Tammy Schumer, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome everyone. If you're new to the congregation or new to us tonight, please stop, say hi, introduce yourself. I'd love to get to know you. Please, if you don't mind, silence your cell phones. We have a couple of announcements. October 29th, tomorrow. Oh, can everybody hear me okay?
I'm not sure.
My mom in the back, can you hear me okay?
Okay. Hold on.
She can never hear me though. She always tells me that. Is that better? Better now? Okay. Tomorrow is Karen Toker's 80th birthday. We'll be celebrating and let me make sure I'm kind of reading this too quickly. For luncheon, they're after Shabbat. So that'll be really nice. She's amazing. Come enjoy a special Shabbat morning service on November 5th as Jordan Berger leads us in prayer as she becomes a bat mitzvah. Very excited about that. On November 6th at 2 p.m., Sisterhood will have paint and schmooze. That's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss the murder mystery November 13th. I know RSVPs need to be in by November 4th, I think. So that's November 13th at 5 p.m. murder mystery dinner. And we will be closed November 23rd to the 25th for Thanksgiving. It's always my favorite time of year. And if you need more detailed information, please see our weekly newsletter. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. You got it.
Can you hear me, Vicki?
So we were doing sound checks earlier today. Can everybody hear me in the back? Is it working? Okay, great. So there's some no's, some yeses, but the yays win, I think. We heard more yeses. So welcome, everyone. It was wonderful to see a lot of you at dinner earlier, and we're glad a lot of you are still here, and welcome everybody who is just coming for services. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Let's try that one again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat.
Excellent, excellent. So to really get us started, I would like all of these second and third graders that are still here, and I see a lot of you, to come up in front of the bima here, and yeah, anybody else, any other kid who wants to come up, exactly, and lead us in Bim Bam with Lori, cantorial soloist Lori.
What a great looking group we have here. You guys
For real.
ready? 1, 2, 3. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bim,
Bim
bam. A
Bam.
little quiet. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. One last time, nice and loud. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Thank you all so much.
Excellent work. Thank you for helping ring in Shabbat for us. Excellent job. And so, now I would like to invite up to light our candles the teachers of the second and third graders, Susie Conway and Nancy Eber. Welcome up.
שתיים, שלוש. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki banu v'charta
Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
Chaim. Thank you very much.
Shabbat shalom.
And now we turn to page 124, 124. And I'd like you to please join me in the reading at the bottom of the page. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. And now we turn to page 128 for Hine Matov, how good and pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together.
Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
And now we turn to page 146, 146 for the Baruch. I invite you to rise in body or spirit.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la
Hu
et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We turn to page 148, 148.
Yada die, 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 die. Yada die, 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 die. Yada die, die, die. Yada die, die, yada die. Die, 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 die. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam Asher bidvaro Ma'ariv aravim Ma'ariv aravim.
Together in the English at the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Ma'ariv aravim.
On page 150, together in the English. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai
Ohev Amo Yisrael. And now I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Shema on page 152.
You guys
Oh,
up
yep.
again? And
Any young person who'd like to help us lead the Shema, you're more than welcome to come up onto the bima. Second and third graders and anybody else who wants to come up. Yeah, if you know the sign language, go ahead.
yeah,
Go for it.
Go ahead. And in fact, if you want to go up to the, oh, I'm so sorry, to the front step and show everybody that so they could do it with you, that would be awesome. All right, you guys ready? Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. That was beautiful.
Thank you all very much. That was great. Thank you. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. And now we turn to page 159, 159. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles. Then earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. And now, I would like to invite up all the young people again to help us lead Mi Chamocha. So come on down, come on up. It's come on up.
So you guys ready to lie with me? Lie. Yai lie 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 yai lie 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 yai lie 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 yai lie 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 ya lie 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot osei fele, Nora tehilot osei fele. Machutecha ra'uvanecha, bukei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 ya lai 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 lai.
Thank you all very much. That sounded good. Whoop.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
And now we will turn to page 160, 160, where we turn to the Hashkivenu. And thank you for reminding me when the kids are up here, we should move the fire a little further away. We don't want to have any I don't know, any fire anywhere near the kids, which would make this a little safer. So one of the things the Hashkivenu talks about is sort of building a sukkah of protection, a sukkah of shalom around all of us. We all hope for that. We all work on that, and we hope for God's help with that. And so I'm going to talk about something a little connected to that. Instead of a sukkah shalom, a bubble of shalom later on in the sermon. But for now, Hashkivenu on page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
For you, God, watch over and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and our coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. And now we turn to page 162. And any young person who would like to come up and help us lead Vishamru, please come on up. Page 162. Come on up, y'all.
You guys ready? Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam.
Thank you all again. That was excellent. Haven't they been great, y'all? This is 4 times they've helped lead us in services tonight. Thank you all very, very much. And now we come to the tefillah portion of our service, the Amidah, which can be found on page 164, 164. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit.
Adonai sifat Matai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chazdei Avot v'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, Lama'an Shemo B'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, B'chayei HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia. Mashiv Haruach U'Morid Hagashem. Mechokel Chayim B'chesed, B'chayei HaKol B'rachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim B'rofei Cholim, U'matir Asurim, U'mekayim Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'agiverot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit U'mechayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atala HaChayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, Ukdoshim B'chol Yom Yahalalucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated. We turn to page 175, 175. Together at the bottom of the page, you are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'onecha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And now we turn to page 178, 178, for Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon Lechol hashalom, ki atahu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'v'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Now is the time in our service where our thoughts turn to those who need healing. The congregation is thinking tonight for healing of Eric Rubenstein, Robin Zimmerman, Francis Marcus, Richmond Wynn, Jenny Ben Bassett, Holly Caristo, Jim DeArmond, Anita Perlman, Lionel Gleckenhaus, Rebecca Kaufman, Pearl Levin, Jay Goldblatt, Marsha Cohen, Ron Rappaport, Rose Aglico, Carol Friedman, Carol Wallace, David Cohen, Carol Solomon, Ben Fishman, Natalie Conway, Marion Cohen Spitzner, Benedicte Vigoro, Dale Ray, Michelle Jurgen Rosenthal, Margaret Gormley, June Van, Jean Schroeder, Marty Siegel, Rabbi Michael Matchison, John Mitchell, Deborah Rosen, Mary Blutenthal, David Michaels, Rayla Montagna, Dennis Montagna, Buzzy Klausner, Cody Allen, and Tris Barber. If there is anyone else who has a name that they'd like to share with the community, someone that they are holding that needs healing, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We hold all of them together as a community. I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Misha Berach on page 371. 371.
Mishebeirach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Amen. You may be seated. Now please take a few moments for silent meditation.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Dimru. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So, like I mentioned earlier, with the Sukkot Shalom, it's a sort of structure of peace. We have a sukkah out there. Some of you were there earlier for religious school, which was great. It was a lot of fun to shake the lulav, and we had pizza then too. It was good times. So, kind of like a sukkah of peace was the ark, in Noah's ark, in this Torah portion. And before we get to the ark, I want to talk about bubbles. So I don't know if anybody here has ever blown a bubble with bubble gum or with one of those things that you pull the thing and have a big bubble, or the little ones that you blow, you dip it in the soapy water and you blow the bubbles. Bubbles. Everyone loves bubbles, right? So, good stuff. And sometimes we think of personal space as being a bubble too. There are lots of different kinds of bubbles. So, in this week's Torah portion, like I mentioned, it's the story of Noah and the ark. And his family and a bunch of animals get on the boat. And the boat for them is like a bubble to keep them from being hit by these waters. So they're able to sort of float on the water like a bubble would float on the water. And it kept him and his family and the animals safe. So thinking about us in our bubbles in this world and how it applies, I was thinking about how sometimes we are all, everybody in their personal space bubble, but in a bunch of people, a bunch of friends can be in a bubble too sometimes. And so, because it's good. Family and friends, we get along, we're together, we have a good time in our bubble. It's sort of a safe space. But then the question comes up, what happens if somebody who is, inside our bubble, but also somebody maybe who's outside our bubble, says something that's not nice or does something that's not nice? What are we supposed to do? How do we deal with this? And so we have a bunch of options. One of them is tell a parent or a teacher. There are ways to bring other people in to help us with our problems. Also, we can just stay in the bubble and ignore it. Or we could walk out of the bubble. We could try and get out of the bubble and talk to this other person. And so these are just all a bunch of ideas, all a bunch of different ways of handling it. And it just depends on the situation, what we decide we want to do. So this Shabbat, on this Shabbat, when we have time to rest and to relax and to chill and just be okay, to really enjoy the weekend, I encourage all of us to take that time and hang out with all the people who are friends and family and just enjoy and to soak up some Shabbat rest and some Shabbat joy. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And now we turn to some of our concluding prayers. The Aleinu can be found on page 586, 586. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit. Do we open the ark?
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedola liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu v'rohamonam, v'anachnu korim, Umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech mochei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notesh shamayim v'yosed haaretz umoshav yikaro b'shamayim ima'al ushkinatu zo B'gov he meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, emet malkeinu efes ulat V'yadata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha. Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim v'shamayim mimol ve'al haaretz mitachat einod v'nemar v'haya Adonai lamelech kol haaretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Our thoughts now turn to those whom we've lost, whether it's somebody we know that we loved or somebody in the community who we know that we loved. And the community tonight is thinking of Bernice Aguinis Ullman, Shirley Wolf, Jane B. Hirsch, Dan Goldman, Judy Ellikin, Inga Langsam, Phyllis Zuckerman, Nancy Honig, Judy DeArmond, Gloria Bell, Dorothy Zemlich Fine, Gordon Overton, Jay Aronoff, and the yard sites of Steve Arief, Abraham Block, Edward James Cohen, Lillian Fleischman, Deborah Tanser Glickman, Sidney Mack, Bernie Moskowitz, Florence Perlman, Juliet Portondo, Philip Schulman, Warren Wheatus, and Arnold Jurgen. If there is anyone who has a name they'd like to share with the community, I invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. We hold all their names together and we remember them. And we turn now to page 598, 598, and I invite you to rise in body or spirit for the Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divra chirute v'amlich malchute, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam ulamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shma bara min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
May the one who makes peace on high bring comfort to those who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. And now for our closing song, we turn to page 625 for Adon Olam.
So there's a couple places you guys need to repeat after me. So I'm going to point to you guys when it's your turn. Okay, you ready? Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Sher Malach,
B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Adon Olam, V'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado Yimloch Nora, Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hoveh, V'hu Yeh B'tifara, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, V'chetzo Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, Ve'ein Sheni, Laham Shelo Lahachbira, Adon Olam, B'li Reshit, B'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra, Adon Olam, Adon Olam. Asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'nasa v'chetzo kol azai melech shemo nikra adon olam v'hu eli v'chai goli v'tzor chevli be'et tzara adon olam v'hu nisi umanos li menakosi b'yom ekra adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chetzo kol azai melech shemo nikra adon olam biyado afkid ruhi beit ishan va'ira adon olam ve'im ruhi gevi'ati Adonai li below ira adon olam. Let me hear you this time. Adon olam. Asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'et nasa v'chetzo kol azai melech shemo nikra adon olam. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya Adonai panav elecha v'yihuneka.
Ken Yehiratzon. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yaseim lecha. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom. Ken Yehiratzon. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
The Kiddush and the Motzi will be in the social hall. We'll see you out there in a sec.